In this video, we're going to look at how to import data logger files into Super Slug. Here I have a text data logger file open in a text editor. Super Slug only imports text files. Here is Super Slug. From the File menu, I select Import Data Logger File. There are various predefined formats from different manufacturers that you can use. If you have a data logger from a different manufacturer not listed here, let us know and we might be able to add it. But the more generic one is the multiple column. Here you specify your units, and these are the units of the data in the data file, not the units that you actually want them to display in. Let's go back and look at my text file. The important thing about the text file is that it must be tab delimited. That is, the columns must be separated by tab characters. In my text editor, I can click on this button and you can see the tab characters that get displayed. The other thing that's important about the format of the text file is you cannot have any data past the end of the water level measurements. I have 4 columns. The first column is the date and time. But the second column is the time measurement in seconds, and that's the one that I care about. So my time is in column 2. The third column is the water level, depth to water in feet. So that is in column 3. And then the fourth column is pressure. I don't care about that one, I'm going to ignore it. But I am going to specify the total number of columns. Now I select my file name and I click import. Here's the data for the file. Note that you have a time column and an adjusted time column. Super Slug automatically determines the starting point of the slug test, and it does this based on the maximum displacement of the water level. It also determines whether you have a rising head or a falling head test. If we go down here, we can see the adjusted time at time 0. This is the starting time of the slug test. At this time, the head ratio is 1. It is at its maximum. Super Slug also calculates the static water level automatically, 3.538 feet. You can see that by going to Edit, Aquifer Parameters, and the static water level before the test. Where does that value come from? It comes from the drawdown column, and it's the lowest value ever in the column. Let's go to the graphs and take a look at my data. From the View menu, I can select Semi-log Head Ratio Graph. Typically, you want this to be a straight line that goes from the top left to the bottom right. This is a very low hydraulic conductivity aquifer, so there's not a lot of water movement. It took a long time for the water level to recover after the test.